What's the problem?
Timeline? Which time?
What do you mean by the timeline?
Because what I'm saying is that
Is this a concern?
yeah, it's definitely.
Okay, so we want to skip the question. So yeah, concern. Explain.
Yeah, I don't. I don't feel I mean, it's okay for the moment, the startup, these first 3 months to the event. And this applies to the payment, absolutely. That this is okay informally, internally, and everything. But as soon as there is the need, which I believe might easily manifest the need with the event and everything, to have an official appointed CEO or director. I don't want to be the director. I don't feel I'm the right person to be the director, and it should be Jay, absolutely. If it makes sense to him as well, of course with the compensation. That's my concern. So
let's see if there's any other questions.
Voting on this proposal without any specific timeline.
But what do you mean the timeline? I'm confused on the timeline.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Alberto, can you hear me? I don't know if Alberto can hear me. I'm gonna refresh.
Albert, we can hear you. Where's Alberto?
Alberto, can you hear me now?
I think something wrong with Alberto. Hello, Jay. Can you hear?
I can hear you, Joyce. No problem.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
I can hear you. I can hear you, Jay.
Maybe Alberto, something wrong with Alberto's line. Alberto, we lost you. Alberto.
You can put the plastic bag in the plastic bag recycling now.
Alberto, we lost you.
So I don't know what by timeline. I mean, for me, the idea is that when you don't have a officer in the organization, that it's important to have clarity on decision making and functionality for ACU in the organization. So for me, there's a lot of practices where there is no administrative branch at all. It's just like the founder of the practice and their owner, controller, everything, and that's just them, right? So for me, the idea of the practitioner and the first practitioner is very, very important. I think it's important to have clarity and priority about that.
Yeah.
In terms
of
just our relationship with SVG, relationships with other organizations, relationship with potential students and people who are coming into the organization and getting involved. That being a practitioner is to be very highly regarded in the organization.
It's always good to have other authority other than the practitioner.
But a lot of places do not, though, right? Most don't.
Most don't.
Yeah, but it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, most organizations are run and controlled by the primary master, practitioner, or whatever when they're some type of guru practice and or spiritual
Yeah,
practice.
but it's you.
Yeah. So I mean, I like that Alberto wants to do something different, but what gets difficult.
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale, 1, 2, 3, pause. Inhale together, 1, 2, 3, exhale, relax.
But what gets difficult for me is just when Alberto continually talks about how, like, everyone's the same, everyone's just a member. I'm not even like anything. And it's just like, well, no, you're everything, Alberto. You're the first practitioner. You are the primary. Like, I mean, imagine if I said that for FQN all the time. Like, everyone's sitting here working, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm nothing. I'm just another member. Like, I don't do anything. Like, you don't listen to me. And it's just like, that would be so awkward, right?
Yeah.
Right. Instead, I'm like, I'm the primary client. I'm the one asking you guys to do all the work. I'm the one who's like in charge by default, right? So it helps the structure of the organization by knowing what the default is, even when everyone's involved in decision making, involved in the processes. Whenever that breaks down, we have a very clear hierarchy and structure for the client work, So anyways, that's the main thing for me, but I definitely agree that it's Alberto would prefer not to have that.
But he was saying a while ago that he prefers to be you, right?
Well, I mean, I would to consider getting hired as a CEO for pay, but that would be additional pay, subcontracted pay, and it comes with additional liabilities there. There's also roles like treasurer roles and things like that too. Right now, there is no treasurer role within ACU because it doesn't pay any bills or do anything except for like the actual. ACU doesn't really have its own bank account right now, and it doesn't need one, right? Because it just gave all the money to.
Sorry, my Wi-Fi went down.
Can you hear us, Alberto?
Yeah, I'm back. Did you guys hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Yeah, I mean, we should.
All right, so
I hear you.
So anyway, so I think the concern is pretty clear. I wanted to see if there's any questions, but the bottom line for me is that I think it helps to have clarity for SVG, for all the internal people involved, for potential students or potential participants in the practice. Like, I think it just helps having clarity on the role of the practitioners, and practitioners are not just some like side thing. That practitioners are considered very prestigious and the highest recognized level in the organization.
Yeah, but I mean, practitioners, if the practitioner needs the title of director or ranking officer to be considered prestigious, it means that.
Open your eyes.
It means that, especially the first practitioner, it means that ACU is destined to fail. What I'm saying is that we should include that as soon as the concrete need to have, like, for some legal reasons, some business reasons, operational reasons, we need to actually have an officer. There should be this policy is not applicable anymore, and we should appoint an officer legally.
For me, this policy represents the current status and relationship to why we were all here. We're here because of and for your vision, Alberto, and it relates to what we talked about before, and that you shouldn't be getting paid directly from SVG, and to prioritize paying people through ACG first. So for me, it's like we are using this already, in terms of as a guideline, even though it's not an official policy. But either way, I understand where you're coming from, and
yeah, but we are using it. But let me ask to Joyce and Ateh, okay? This is true. We are using it, but I believe that if Joyce and Ateh have a feeling that I'm not the most relevant figure when we go into the practice itself at this point. This can change at this point. maybe you haven't understand very well what the ACU is, but if I ask you directly, within ACU, is Ateh still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Ateh, Joyce, within ACU, answer immediately, whatever comes in your mind.
Within what?
Within ACU framework,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
who do you feel is the director, the chief executive director? First answer, immediate answer.
So Alberto.
You.
You feel that I'm the within ECU, I'm the director of ECU.
Yeah, it's your
Yes.
vision. So you are the one behind. You are the brain behind it. So we are just here to assist you
Yeah.
achieve your vision.
You, and then now we have this proposal that in lieu of
Time
you,
to stretch. Please stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
is that the one you were trying to propose, Jay? In lieu of Alberto as the director, there should be another one, another officer or authority
I
in
mean,
the company.
the what I was saying before is how it's very normal for most practitioner-based, guru-based organizations for the practitioner to be it or the master or whatever to control and run the organization. I mean, this is very normal. Obviously, Alberto doesn't want that, but it is
Yeah.
very normal. So the other proposal, which I think is also perfectly fine, would be to appoint Alberto as the executive director along with being a first practitioner, right? Because then that would
Yes.
clarify it and make it very clear Alberto's role as starting and founding this vision, like you guys were saying, that we are here to support Alberto in the vision. But if Alberto doesn't want to be appointed as an executive director or whatever, that's perfectly fine in the context that he's still first practitioner, and that I think is very important.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why we need to make this. I mean, to me, it's just it's against any reason and any logic that whenever there is J involved, somebody can be the executive director other than J. It just doesn't make any sense at all.
But if I'm the executive director of every single organization I ever participate with, how am I going to ever deal with all the other organizations that I'm overseeing, right? Like other people have to step up, otherwise it's not fair to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Everything and have to oversee and be in charge of everything until I die because it's
no. I'm not saying that. I'm saying when you're involved with the day by day operation, otherwise,
I'm automatically should be executive director or CEO.
No, I mean this is a startup. You can be the executive until the organization, and then you become the chairman or the president.
So let me ask you a question. Are you assuming that in your mind I'm already CEO and or executive director?
Totally, yes.
But see, for me, that is a major concern because it's a complete assumption.
I mean, I'm the first practitioner. I understand the importance of the first practitioner.
Without
Time to
agreement
pause.
is weird.
Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
And that makes me want to make sure that we're voting on this proposal even more because it's like, I want clarity that I am here in SVG capacity as a support mechanism and worker to make ACU happen, right?
Okay, Jay, but let's make a step back.
Yeah.
Okay, so the executive director. I'm the executive director of Alpha. I've been the executive director of Alpha for 9 years. Okay, and we talk about Alpha. It's okay. I am the executive director. I want to be the executive director. At the moment, we are building the board, which commands and everything. But I know exactly what executive director means, and we're talking here about the administration of the organization. and the operations and the coordination and everything that an executive director this title means. I know very well what that means. It's not that. So I'm taking it very seriously. So, and I understand what the first practitioner means. So obviously there would be a big problem if the executive director and the first practitioner are two different consciousness, and the executive director does not recognize the prestige, the importance of the figure of the first practitioner, right? This said, ACU is now not in any way in apart from the practice itself, kind of in the control of
Hello?
of myself, right? And the title executive director, it's a very strong title. It's a title that brings a lot of heaviness in the shoulders of the person that steps up into that position, that title. And even though we do everything very differently, still here we're talking about the executive director. So we're not talking about the first procedure. So perfectly fine and understand, and it makes sense and it's logic that I am and should be and I want to be the first practitioner, and my prestige, let's say you use those word prestige, I don't think it's the right word, it's a better word, but my weight, should be recognized, acknowledged.
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale, 1, 2, 3, pause. Inhale together, 1, 2, 3, exhale, relax.
And if it's not, there's a problem, because ACU, I want to remind everybody that it's AMBOR, right? AMBOR is the term that to me is like my consciousness, how I relate to my consciousness. This is my, everything that is highest, most valuable to me, I put it under. So, and this, I believe, doesn't need to have any title or anything to be recognized, acknowledged, and it should be acknowledged. And if it's not, it's a problem. At the same time, I must say that if I am, if we're voting to give me the title of executive director, to me, I would feel that like it's a lie, because days involved in day-by-day operations in the organization, the startup, in the coordination, the planning of an organization, you are now with ACU, which is something by itself now, with its membership and everything. I can not, my heart is wrong to give this title to me in any way possible. It's just wrong. It doesn't make sense.
So just to move on, like you do not want to be executive director, so we're not proposing you to be executive director. And this proposal in no way appoints you as executive director. We're just, what this proposal says is simply that the practitioner is an officer position, and that it assumes all of the inherent responsibilities and duties needed for the organization to function at any time. Like, so if somebody comes to us in any capacity and asks who's in charge in ACU, and you know, who should I talk to, we know how to answer that definitively, right?
Yes, this is okay. Practitioner is an officer, can be seen as an officer, and it's okay. But if the need arises for the CEO of ACU to sign something or to write something as executive director, CEO of ACU to any governmental body, there need to be rediscuss the disagreement, because personally I would not feel comfortable. I would feel alive be titled executive director.
Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
In a situation where Jay is involved in this way, then if Jay, the company grows, the organization grows, and Jay then says, okay, now guys, I think I can take a step back. There's not so much need of me to be involved day by day. Then it's different. Jay takes on a different title. That could be chairman, president, whatever there is, and then I would definitely consider to be the executive director, of course. But until there is the current organization.
Yeah. So I added line 142 that the highest ranked practitioner does not take on any other officer titles and only the roles of the needs of the organization.
Perfect.
Right?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, this flows very well.
Because it's like you're still and will always be the primary practitioner, the first practitioner, whatever. It's like your role is the highest ranked practitioner. If we eventually one day 5 years from now have like 20 practitioners or even 100, whoever ranks highest would automatically assume this role. Right? It might not be you. There might be someone else who's appointed as the primary practitioner. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I see what I'm saying. What I'm saying in 2 words, if somebody comes today and asks who runs this ACU, I'll say immediately Jay. And then they would ask me maybe, and if I would be executive director, I give this answer, and they say, okay, then when are you executive director? Because
okay, but this is where organizational systems are extremely important. If someone comes to me and asks me who is in charge of ACU and involved in it, and to talk to in terms of overseeing decisions and helping out with understanding things, I would tell them Alberto.
Who's in charge? You can say Alberto, but who runs ACU? Who made sure that ACU was prioritized? Who made sure that?
Well, you can say that SUV. You can say SUV, but that's like saying that's like saying like who runs FUV, like Alberto, because you're the deputy.
That's a very good answer. Who runs? Yeah, the membership, SVG. Yeah, thank you, Jay. That's a very good answer. Correct. SVG. At the moment, SVG runs ACU because ACU hired SVG to run.
To run it, exactly.
Yeah, perfect.
That is exactly the great answer.
Perfect.
So,
yeah.
But SVG has no officer role, right?
Yeah.
So there's a big difference between running an organization, taking on fiduciary duty, taking on organizational duties, and being the internal officer.
To take a break. Please
stop.
stop.
We're a startup, so I accept this for practitioners to take this role for the moment to move forward.
So anyways, I'm going to vote 7.5 on this.
Yeah,
but I'm personally fine with the pass. Move on. It's like whatever needs to happen. Happen.
I'll vote a 7.
Today's a 7.
Mm-hmm.
7.5.
Okay. All right, so let's just go ahead and move on to the next topic, shall we? Or anything else?
I'm just putting this in the question, the perfect space. Who runs ACU? Even if informally, SGV is running ACU, who has specifically hired SVG to do that with the intention that if successful, SVG will take on specific appointments.
But that's not true nor the case at all. All of that happens at an individual level. If you want to do subcontracting and subcontract positions, that's an individual decision.
No, let's not make it complicated. Who runs SU, even if informally, SVG is running SU, who has specifically hired SVG to do that.
Yeah, but the key thing here is that ACU has been SVG is administratively running ACU, right? Administratively running, which means that it is running based on the needs of the legal membership and the legal officers. right? So the legality of ACU stays within ACU and is overseen by the membership and the officers.
Yes, who
Not
runs the
by
administration, correct.
SPG is not taking on any legal oversight in relationship to the liabilities of the decisions of the membership and the officers, right? We're just doing an administrative function.
Totally, yeah, totally. Who runs the administratively ACU? SVG is the administratively run ACU, whose membership has specifically hired SVG to do that. Perfect. Okay, good. Okay, so this passes. Goes in the decisions. So Cobalt H2 is now.
Yeah.
Well, issues now, my goodness. So we can just keep going with this if we want to. One other thing I think we need to add to our radar and next steps is the insurance. Insurance. Since we were talking about legality, risks, and sponsorship. Just understanding the sponsorship roles in the insurance and budget, right? But that's not really that important until with the actual event. So a budget for the actual event and the actual insurance and dealing with the legality of that. But we'll get to that when we get there. Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be big.
Not too worried about it for now. Yeah. All right. So do we need to take a break and then come back and keep going on the next topic?
Yeah, let's have at least the topic on now. It's the documenting, right? Or no?
Yes, the exciting part.
Yeah, it's an exciting part. Perfect. Yeah, let's take a break. Anyone wants to check out?
Not yet.
Okay. I think one more segment.